player?
Sudoku. No.
Thank you. That shows me up, doesn't it?
I'm not. I ought to. Be good practice with numbers, but
I think so.
Word searches for me.
You're all right.
Kitchen mole. So it's a regional term for the mole that you might get in your garden. Very
Really?
good. No, this was really tricky, so Sam's done really well out of this one. And we had otherwise diodes, which are valves with 2 electrodes.
Yeah. Susie?
Uplift is there for another 6, and also Tupelo, which is a North American tree of damp and swampy habitats. Well, you know, in comic strips, when a character gets like bumped on the head, and just lets off this expletive, but it's just a whole string of typographical symbols. So you'll find the ampersand and the exclamation mark and the percentage mark and things. That's a Grawlix. It was a nonsense term created by a comic strip writer. Character Coraline, but it's not there as a noun. It has produced a beautiful Lonicera. It's a plant of a genus which comprises the honeysuckles, and it's a brilliant 9. Well done.
Oh.
There's another plant there if you want to name carlines, which are part of the thistle family, carlines.
Not as good.
Not as good, no.
Thank you.
Gaudia as well. So a gourd in the old days was a showy and just an ornamental thing. If you've got too many of those, it's gaudy.
Indeed.
Can't beat Sam's.
That's it.
Yeah,
Thank
excellent.
you. All right.
He's very good indeed. It's a term from philosophy, Sam, you're teaching us here. The idea or conception is formed. Very good.
My word.
Excellent. Unfaithed, for example.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes, that's just a variant spelling of enclose. You can spell it with an I at the beginning.
Got it.
Yeah. Good.
Good enough. 90, please.
Thanks, Nick. Well, I'm going to try and answer an email from Dennis Holmes, who asks, why twins when we have triplets, quadruplets, etc.? Why don't we have doublets instead of twins? Involves actually a linguistic term that is known as doublets, because English is full of words that come from the same root, often a very ancient root, but it goes through various different languages, and we end up with 2 words in English that go back to that same ancient root, but because they came to us via different channels, both of those words into and doublet, believe it or not, are etymologically related. They both go back to the same very, very ancient root. And before we had twins, we did have doublets. There's a few isolated uses in the dictionary of 2 children being born to the same mother at the same time, and they are called doublets, which I think is sweet. And it was Shakespeare who actually gave us the idea of the twin in the Comedy of Errors. So that was 1616. That's the first record we have of twin. You go back to the same root. So I'll start with that, the double bit. That goes back to the Latin duo, and that gave us all sorts of words, duplicate as well as duo, and double, of course, itself. The twi bit, the TWI, that gave us twin, you'll find that in so many different words. Most of them have the idea of 2 within them, so 12, 20. Twitten, a twitten is, or a twitchell indeed as well in dialect, is an alleyway that goes between 2. Twain, if you like your chocolate bar, Twixes, twilight of light, and possibly my absolute favourite, and I think we really need to bring this back, it's a twy-thought. And a twy-thought is one that you happen to have as you're moving from one thought to another, and it's just that secondary thought that you really want to hang on to, but it just goes and you can't remember it. That is a twy-thought. It's there, yes, it's there. I was sort of let out, about poor you, because it's there as a capital, with a capital M first of all, but then it says also Marotic with a small m. It's someone called Marot, who was a French poet, whose work is noted for very old, early 18th century, but it's in the dictionary. Hang on a second. Can you spell it for me again? It is there. Sorry. It's there as a variant spelling. In the eastern Asiatic tundra, a porga is a violent blizzard of very fine snow. Yeah.
Grapes.
Have grapes instead, if you prefer.
Oh, yeah, that's nice, wouldn't it?
Thank you very much. One.
Yes, definitely.
Wonderful.